যমুনা তীরা বনচারী জয় রাধা মাধব কুঞ্জ বিহারী জয় রাধা মাধব কুঞ্জ বিহারী জয় গোপী জনবল্লভ গিরিবরধারী জয় গোপী জনবল্লভ গিরিবরধারী যশোদানন্দন ব্রজজনরঞ্জন যশোদানন্দন ব্রজজনরঞ্জন যমুনা তীর বনচারী যমুনা তীর বনচারী হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ কৃষ্ণ হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে 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 কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে 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 রাম 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 হরে হরে নিতাই গৌর হরি বল হরি বল নিতাই গৌর হরি বল জয় জয় প্রভুপাদ 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 শ্রী গুরু নিতাই গৌর হরি শ্রী চরণ প্রেমানন্দে হরি হরি বল। Hare Krishna. We are going to read from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Amala Puran, Canto 2, and the chapter 7, Scheduled Incarnations. We are going to discuss today the text number 52. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. The text is in the board. Yathā harau bhagavati nṛṇāṁ bhaktir bhaviṣyati sarva-ātmani akhila-ādhāre iti saṅkalpya varṇaya yathā harau bhagavati nṛṇāṁ bhaktir bhaviṣyati sarvātmany akhila-ādhāre iti saṅkalpya varṇaya yathā harau bhagavati nṛṇāṁ bhaktir bhaviṣyati sarvātmany akhila-ādhāre iti saṅkalpya varṇaya. Please chant. Yathā harau bhagavati nṛṇāṁ bhaktir bhaviṣyati sarvātmany akhila-ādhāre. Mataji. No? What word meaning? Yathā, as much as. Harau, unto the personality of Godhead. Bhagavati, unto the Lord. nṛṇāṁ, for human beings. Bhaktiḥ, devotional service. Bhaviṣyati, become enlightened. Sarva-ātmani, the absolute whole. Akhila-ādhāre, unto the summum bonum. Iti, thus, saṅkalpya, by determination. Varṇaya, describe. Translation and purport given by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Please describe the science of Godhead with determination. and in a manner by which it will be quite possible for the human being to develop transcendental devotional service unto the Personality of Godhead Hari, the Supersoul of every living being and the summum bonum, source of all energies. Purport. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the philosophy of devotional service and the scientific presentation of man's relationship with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Prior to this, to the age of Kali, there was no need for such a book of knowledge to know the Lord and his potential energies. But with the beginning of the age of Kali, human society gradually became influenced by four sinful principles, namely illegitimate connection with women, intoxication, gambling, and unnecessary killing of animals. Because of these basic sinful acts, man gradually became forgetful of his eternal relation with God. Therefore, man became blind, so to speak, to his ultimate goal of life. The ultimate goal of life is not to pass a life of irresponsibility like the animals and indulge in a polished way in the four animal principles, namely eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. For such a blind human society in the darkness of ignorance, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is the torchlight to see things in proper perspective. Therefore, it was necessary to describe the science of God from the very beginning or from the very birth of the phenomenal world. As we have already explained, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is so scientifically presented that any sincere student of this great science will be able to understand the science of God simply by reading it with attention or simply by regularly hearing it from the bona fide speaker. Everyone is hankering after happiness in life. But in this age, the members of human society, blind as they are, do not have the proper vision that the Personality of Godhead is the reservoir of all happiness, because he is the ultimate source of everything. Janmadhyasya yathā. Happiness in complete perfection without hindrance can be achieved only by our devotional relationship with him. And it is only by his association that we can get free of distressful material existence. Even those who are after the enjoyment of this material world can also take shelter of the great science of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and they will be successful at the end. Neither is therefore requested or ordered by his spiritual master to present this science with determination and in good plan. Narad was never advised to preach the principles of Bhagavatam to earn a livelihood. He was ordered by his spiritual master to take the matter very seriously in a missionary spirit. Om Jnana Timidandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatham Vidam Tam Sajimi Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vidamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagat Pate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Shirada Kanta Namastute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. Mancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhuvaya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama. Hare Krishna. Let me first offer my obeisances unto the lotus feet of Sri Maharaj. Maharaj is here. And all the virtuous devotees, please accept my humble obeisances and bless me so I can speak something which will be pleasing to the Lord and you also. I seek your sincere prayer also. Hare Krishna. So this verse is very beautiful verse. Also from this verse we understand the importance of Bhagavatam and importance of disseminating the Bhagavatam knowledge to others. As nṛṇāṁ, our predecessor, Acharya, was requested by his father as well as spiritual master to describe the science of Godhead with determination. Each word has so much weight in it. We'll try to discuss whatever way Lord will reveal to us with determination in a manner in which it will be quite possible for the human being to develop transcendental devotional service unto the Personality of Godhead Hari. So we are duty bound in this mission. Our Sampradaya Acharyas, our Sampradaya Guru Brahma was first enlightened by the 4 seed verses or key verses of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And means Lord Krishna spoke the essence of the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam in just only 4 verses. And Brahma understood, realized, became enlightened immediately by the mercy of Lord. And he then expanded, or actually he did not expand, he spoke the same 4 verses, original 4 verses he heard from Sri Krishna to his son and disciple Sri Nṛṇāṁ, and ordered now that expand this and expound this knowledge to the human society so they can understand the importance of devotional service unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead. See, Lord's plan is so wonderful and all auspicious. This material world is, we hear, full of darkness, ignorance, and it's a fact. That's why we need the dazzling sun, Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. It is also said this Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is like the sun risen after Sri Krishna left this world. So here, expounding the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam verse as our Guru Parampara, means Gurudev and Acharyas, previous Acharyas and present Acharyas are doing the same thing for the welfare of the whole human society. So we should not think that we are not in this preaching program. Actually, we are also within this program. As we are understanding how our lives are saved by the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and by the most powerful explanations, the Bhaktivedanta, the Purport. We became saved. Now we also should help others to save their lives. Or we should take it in a very missionary spirit to do it. And for this, we need thousands of preachers, men, women, children, young, adults, everyone can take part. India is a country of 1 billion people, more than 1 billion people. At least 1 million preachers are required to save the whole country's people, human being. 8 billion people are in this planet. So how many preachers we need? At least 8 million. We should take this very seriously, and we should do our part as much as possible. As Srila Prabhupada said, even one soul is saved by my endeavor, that I have written those books, I will consider my life is successful. Even one soul is saved. Similarly, if we can save even one person from this entanglement of birth, death, old age, and diseases, and can give the highest gift, that knowledge of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, knowledge of Krishna, our relationship with Krishna, and the science of devotional service, then our life will be successful. And by helping others, we help ourselves. This is a very wonderful process. And human life is such a life that in this human life, you can go back to the spiritual world. Also, you can do innumerable kinds of sinful activities and can go to hell forever, can be bound in this world forever. Both things are possible. Both things are possible. With the mind, human mind, unlimited kinds of unlawful things we can do, think, we can commit sins, offenses. Sometimes we feel that this mind is so scary thing, but this mind is also a big asset for us. If we take full advantage of this mind and make the mind as our friend, then we can achieve. So today's verse speak about that, and speak about with urgency. Prabhupada is also explaining with the urgency that we all should make our own lives successful. We should not remain in the ignorance. We should also ourselves will be very much proactive for our own improvement in our spiritual life. Also proactively help others. These two things go hand in hand. More we realize the importance of Bhagavatam and our spiritual life, more we'll be able to also help others. So just we are reading the translations of original 4 key verses of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam as Sri Krishna spoke to his son Brahma. So these are the first, he says 4 verses. One verse that is from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 2nd canto, 9th chapter, 33, 34, 35, 36. Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation, when there was nothing but myself, nor was there the material nature, the cause of the creation, the that which you see now is also I, the personality of Godhead, and after annihilation, what remains will also be I, the personality of Godhead. So Krishna is the basis of all existence. Actually, the word existence is Krishna. When we say Sat, Sat means Krishna, existence. Our existence is not separate existence of Krishna. Existence is part of Krishna's existence and also connected with Krishna. That's why it is so important to know Krishna. And our relationship is that we are his subordinate servants of Krishna. And in chapter 9, Bhagavad Gita, Krishna described about the Rajaguyam, Raja, Vidya Rajaguyam Tattva, king of all education. Generally, we are very puffed up with the material educations. But how about this king of education? Have we earned it? Yes, Gita says, have it, king of education. That is chapter 9. And it is most confidential also. So we may wonder, what is the king of education? What is that? So far, up to 8th chapter, we understood everything. No. King of education is having the service for the Lord, devotional service to the Lord. We must anchor this. Where's the service? Where's the service? Where's the service? Devotional service to Lord. It doesn't matter whether we are living in this world or in the spiritual world or anywhere, heaven or hell. But our swarup is not changing. We are same servants, and our constitutional occupation is to render service to Supreme Lord. So when we achieve the service to the Supreme Lord, that is the Raja, Vidya, Raja, Guyam. So we should not remain without service. Whatever we do, we must turn into service. Knowing that relationship between the served Lord and the servant is the service. Our bhakta, Bhagavan, and bhavana or bhakti. Krishna consciousness. Krishna consciousness means to remain always absorbed in Krishna. Simple way. This is the society of Krishna consciousness. Society for Krishna consciousness means all the time remain absorbed, busy, involved in the thought of Krishna. And Krishna says that I'm everything. I'm everything. I'm unlimited. And because Krishna is unlimited, so he is present everywhere, unlimitedly. Krishna's form is situated in his, Krishna is situated in his all-pervading form. In the past, present, and future, always Krishna remains, and everywhere, inside, outside. This principle, this siddhanta, we must understand. This is one of the principles of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. The Krishna is present everywhere, within ourselves, outside, in every atom. So it is not any difficult for us. It is not at all a difficult task to serve, to remain engaged in the devotional service of the Lord and help others to become engaged in devotional service of the Lord. Then the next verse, Krishna says to Brahma, "O Brahma, whatever appears to be any values, if it without relation to me has no reality, know it as my illusory energy, that reflection which appears to be in darkness." Means whatever we see in connection with Krishna, to that degree we understand the value of anything and everything and ourselves. Actually, nothing is unconnected from Krishna. Everything is connected with Krishna, but we do not remember that, or we are not aware of this fact. So first we see ourselves that we are always connected with Krishna, and then we see everything also connected with Krishna. That means when we focus the mind on Krishna, seeing the connection means yoga. Yoga means connection with Krishna. Everything is connected with Krishna. When we perceive the connection, that is yoga. That is the principle of yoga. So, when mind is focused on Krishna, then we are relieved from the miseries of this world. And we achieve what? And a happiness without hindrance. That we are going to achieve. Means Prabhupada is saying, very wonderful point, the devotional service gives us what? That happiness in complete perfection without hindrance can be achieved only by our devotional relationship with Krishna. So this is very, very, very important line Srila Prabhupada wrote here, because this is our goal of life, to become happy, to experience uninterrupted happiness without any touch of miseries. That's why always we are trying to become free from miseries, and how to become happy without any hindrance and complete happiness. Is it possible in this world? Materially, it is not possible. We must be convinced about this truth ourselves, to convince others also. If we still think that we can be materially also happy, so let me absorb my mind into material thoughts and activities, it's a wrong path. It's a path for entanglement. But the right path is devotional service. Become engaged in devotional service with determination. Then happiness in fullness, without hindrance, is attainable or possible in this world. We must have full confidence in the word of Acharya, in the words of Krishna, our previous Acharyas, Brahma, Narada. We should feel very proud about it, that we are descendants of Narada-muni through disciplic succession. We are descendants of Brahma through disciplic succession. Just we have to understand the science ourselves, so we can explain also very effectively to others, so they can also take up, they can also dedicate their lives to Krishna. First, ourselves dedicate our lives to Krishna. In devotional relationship with Krishna, this word is very emphatic word. Just not superficial relationship with Krishna. Yeah, I am not sure that whether I can be happy in the spiritual life, but still what to do, I'm doing. But actually, we must have the full confidence, full confidence, determination. This determination word, Mahaprabhu spoke in a very simple way. Shraddha shabde bishwas kahe, sudriro nishchay. Krishna bhakti koile sarva karma krito hoy. Shraddha, the initial confidence in Krishna, or faith in Krishna, or respect for Krishna, becomes more and more strong and solid in such a way that the whole heart is now focused on that, Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And devotional service to Krishna, bhakti. And with full understanding that Krishna bhakti koile sarva karma krita hai. My whole life will be successful, my all activities will be successful if we perform Krishna Bhakti. And how many ways we perform Krishna Bhakti? Generally we know is 9 kinds. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Bandhanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. Shravanam, so we hear and we glorify Kirtanam and we remember. And then consciousness must be changed. If our consciousness is not transformed for rendering devotional service favorably to the Lord, anukulyasya, saṅkalpya, this saṅkalpya word comes many times, favorably, then our life cannot experience success. It doesn't matter materially, we may be very successful. But for the pure devotee, it doesn't matter whether material life is successful, unsuccessful. It doesn't matter because he is transcendentally situated. He is absorbed in the transcendence. He is merged. His consciousness is merged in the transcendence. And he is always in the devotional relationship with Krishna. And through this relationship, he derives immense pleasure, immense happiness. It's just awaiting us. Immense pleasure, immense happiness without hindrance, without any contamination, without any ahituki apratihata, without any impediments, and continuous. So Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam says in many places to convince us that how life can be so blissful, happy, unlimitedly, which we do not believe in now. But we must be convinced about this truth. Otherwise, the mission will not progress as it should be. Just think the world. The people are suffering so intensely. People are going through so many troubles. How can we help them? If we have these feelings also in this heart, we progress. We may sometimes think, I may not do much to remove the pains of others. I am nicely situated. That's enough for me. No, no, no. We should not remain that kind of person without any empathy or sympathy. We must feel their pain. We may not physically go door to door and deliver the knowledge. But we must have, like Vasudeva Datta had these feelings. Oh Lord, he was speaking to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I cannot tolerate seeing the miseries of this world people are going through, living beings are going through. I know the reason, because they are addicted to the sinful activities. They cannot give up sinful activities. And they have so many bad karmas on their shoulder. So that's why they are suffering. But deliver them, please, and give all their karmas on my head. I will remain in the hell and go through suffering on their behalf. Can you imagine the heart of Vasudeva Datta? And Mahaprabhu immediately embraced him and said, you are very dear to me. No, no, for this you don't have to go through any sufferings. I will deliver everyone. So we can plead to Lord, isn't it? We can pray to Lord, please deliver everyone. Everyone is suffering. So this consciousness is first-class consciousness. Although for themselves, they don't suffer. They do not have any sufferings on their own. but they suffer by seeing others suffering. So this Bhagavatam teaches us this. Mahaprabhu wanted us all to study Bhagavatam very seriously, sincerely, attentively, and with vow. Saṅkalpya. Saṅkalpya means also taking a vow. Means, yes, every day I'll read Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, I'll hear Bhagavatam, as well as I'll discuss Bhagavatam, I'll expound the Bhagavatam. As much as possible, I'll do it. So this is required. And then in the third, Krishna spoke to Brahmaji, a person who is searching. No, the third is, "O Brahma, please know that. O Brahma, please know that the essential elements enter into the cosmos and at the same time do not enter into the cosmos. Similarly, I myself also exist within everything created, and at the same time I am outside of everything." This is Achintya Vedavet Tattva given by Mahaprabhu. With this philosophy we can understand Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, we can understand Śrīmad-Bhagavad-Gita. The central point is this, Achintya Vedavet Tattva. We are one with Krishna as well as we are different from Krishna. The Krishna's energies are one with Krishna and different. And Krishna remains Krishna. Krishna can keep his existence complete, although he is all-pervading and entered in every atom. Means we are one with Krishna, that doesn't mean we are identical with Krishna in every respect. That mistake, who does? The Mayavadis and others. Everything is Krishna. And not performing worship to Krishna directly, but thinking everything is God, Brahman, is not the actual philosophy. We must worship Krishna. And seeing Krishna in every being's heart and in every atom is also a worship of Krishna. So anytime, every time, under any situation, all the time, we can have this understanding, Krishna is within me, everyone's heart, and worship Krishna. Easy worship is chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. See, if we remember two verses from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the first one and last one, we understand the mission of Bhagavatam. Janmadhyasya yathā means everything is emanating, coming forward from Krishna and also existing in Krishna. And the last verse of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam we know, very powerful verse. Nama sankirtanam yasya sarva papa pranashanam pranama dukkha samanastam tam samanastam namami harim param. The conclusion of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam is Nama Sankirtanam. And Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu began his movement from Nama Sankirtanam. And somehow or other we came in contact within this ISKCON, which is based on this Nama Sankirtanam and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. See? If we are not understanding the importance of Nama Sankirtanam, you are not so understanding the importance of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. So doing Nama Sankirtanam, Nam Japa also is the instruction of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Hare Namanu Kirtanam. So we are so fortunate that we have already we have achieved the essence of all Vedic wisdom. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam nṛṇāṁ saṅkirtanam. And both are so important for us to become happy. Because how can we become happy? Because when Krishna is happy by our devotional service, then we become happy automatically. If the mind is not doing well, then we have to understand somewhere my mistake is there. I'm not following the process properly. That's why my mind is not happy. Mind is unwell, sick. We say mental distress. But in the spiritual life, there's no room for mental distress. But we hear that we are going through mental problems or distress. How it is possible? Point is, the remedy is go back to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. Remedy is go back to Harinam Sankirtan and Nam Japa. Nam Japa, constant Nam Japa. More and more, more and more. Two things are very important for us. We are duty bound to perform two activities. Reading more and chanting more. Two activities, if we dedicate ourselves for these two activities, we must be happy without any hindrance. That Prabhupada is speaking. So the final verse of the Chatushlaki verses, a person who is searching after the supreme absolute truth, the personality of Godhead, must certainly search for it up to this in all circumstances, in all space and time, and both directly and indirectly. That's the point. That every time, all the time, anywhere, everywhere, in any situation, we should be aware of Krishna and perform devotional service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Realizing Krishna is within me, Krishna is everywhere, Krishna is before me. Seeing Krishna all the time in front of you is the practice of devotional service. Forgetting Krishna is the root cause of our material miseries. So not to forget, and pray to Lord, please allow me to remember. My Guru Maharaj was offering one prayer, very wonderfully, very heart-touching prayer. He says, "Oh my Lord, I'm so fallen that I don't depend on you. I'm unable to surrender myself unto you. Oh my Lord, I'm so fallen that I cannot remember you all the time. As you said, ananyas chintayantu mam, I cannot. Please help me. Please remind me to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Please don't put me into forgetfulness." Prabhupada also says that. Please don't put me into forgetfulness of you. Please remind me to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra all the time. Please allow me to surrender unto you. Please allow me to render service unto you. Because it is not by our own power we can achieve the goal, but with the help of Krishna we can achieve. So one more verse also there, very important verse in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, one of my favorite verses. It is from Canto 10, Chapter 2, and the text number 31. "O Lord, who resemble the shining sun, you are always ready to fulfill the desire of your devotee, and therefore you are known as the desired tree, Vanchakalpataru. When acharyas completely take shelter under your lotus feet, in order to cross the fierce ocean of nations, they leave behind the boat on earth the method by which they cross, and because you are very merciful to your other devotees, you accept the method to help them." So our acharyas, they gave us the process of devotional service. Just like we here in ISKCON, Srila Prabhupada gave us process, following 4 regulative principles, offering food to Lord, accept only the remnants of Lord, chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, wake up early in the morning, attend the Mangalarti, worship Lord in your home, and perform Sankirtan. These are the regulative principles of bhakti our acharyas gave, and also they followed the same system, and that is compared like a boat. And with the boat, they crossed the ocean of nations, the material existence. The most wonderful thing is they left the boat for us. Boat for us, so we can also board the boat and go back to the spiritual world. So unless we set a goal, what do we want with my life? Just maintaining my Krishna consciousness is my goal. Generally, we have this process, practice, maintaining everything. No, this is not the goal of life. Just maintaining whatever stage I'm in, or my Krishna consciousness level, I'm happy with that. No, not that. Goal is to intensify our Krishna consciousness. Goal is to become pure devotee of Krishna and help others. And it is within our power. It's not impossible for us. We are also not so insignificant in that regard, because what is our significance? Our significance is that we are part and parcel of Krishna. We have birthright to go to Krishna. We have birthright to offer services to Krishna, having devotional relationship with Krishna, and be happy with that relationship. So unless we set a goal in our life, we will not be much enthusiastic to achieve it. Just like in this material world, we actually apply this principle in this material world. We first set a goal to achieve something, then we dedicate ourselves in that process so we can achieve the goal. The similar principle we have to apply in our spiritual life. Be enthusiastic for ourselves, be enthusiastic for others. We should not think that the fallen living entities are hopeless. They cannot go back to the spiritual world. It is not. We all have the potential to go back home, back to Godhead, to have very loving, deep, affectionate, sweet relationship with Krishna. And we have the right to experience happiness in fullness, without any hindrance. Sabai mana Krishna padaro vindayor. It begins with that. Also it is, Bhagavatam says, Sabai pumsam paro dharma yato bhaktir adhokshaje ahitukiya pratihata yayatmasu prasidati. This is our param dharma, to remain engaged in pure devotional service to Krishna without any stoppage, then without any material motives, then the Atma will be suprasidati, will be very, very happy. And many, many verses are there in glorifying Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam that we know. Shinotam sakatha Krishna punya shravana kirtana ridhyantastahi avadrani vidunati suhitsatam. If we keep on hearing Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, the contamination from the heart would be removed. One other verse, just very important, that how if we are eager to hear Krishna katha from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Krishna becomes immediately captured within the heart. Shushushubi tatshanat. We must take advantage of this point. Verse is very beautiful. Dharma pajjita kaitavatra. That is the verse that, the big verse that it is said in the Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, how we, by giving ourselves by receiving Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam attentively, with oral reception, then we can achieve that Krishna becomes established within the heart. So at least we should try this. And Bhagavatam is above any chal dharma, it is pure dharma, and to be able to capture Krishna in the heart, we must attentively hear Krishna Katha from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, and also give others the chance to hear Krishna Katha. And as soon as we become eager to hear, as soon as we become greedy to hear Krishna Katha, Krishna becomes so happy, he comes to our heart and becomes situated permanently. So what could be the more wonderful thing in our lives? If Krishna is captured in our hearts, Krishna is established in our hearts. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Is there anything? Yes.
Thank you, Mataji, for your nice lecture. You have beautifully explained about the four root verses of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, 29, 33 to 36. Mataji, Brahmaji was told by Garbhodakshai Vishnu, because Brahmaji was emerged from Garbhodakshai Vishnu through a lotus stem. So from Brahmaji came to Narad Muni, disciplic succession, and from Narad Muni it came to Vyasdev. So I like to understand that from four root verses, then 18,000 Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam emerged. So that is the point, Mataji?
Yes, this is a very nice point. Original verses, 4 verses, right? Krishna spoke 4 verses. And Brahmaji also said the same 4 verses to Narada. Now from Narada, through the disciplic succession, the core verses or essence of all Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam came from Narada Muni to Vyasadeva. Vyasadeva expanded. Narada Muni also expanded to Vyasadeva. And then Vyasadeva expanded for the living beings in Kali Yuga. Because in Kali Yuga, it is very hard if something is not explained properly. In this earth, we have 18,000 verses of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. But in the Swargaloka, the upper planetary system, they have 1,000 verses, 100,000 verses. 100,000 verses, can you imagine? So many more informations or Krishna Leelas are there. But 18,000 verses are enough for us if we can go through reading regularly. That's enough. And actually Bhagavatam says, you don't need to read any other scripture. One Bhagavatam is enough for you. And it's a fact. It's a fact. So they expanded the verse. Our acharyas also, like Srila Prabhupada gave so many volumes of books on Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, he expanded more. And we take one verse of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam and we expand more. And this is the way, but without deviating from the core verses. This is very important point. Not to deviate from the principles of Bhagavatam, not to dilute the message. Oh yes, whatever you are doing is fine. No, nothing. We have to be very strong and serious, honest, and loyal to Srila Prabhupada, to our Guru Parampara, to Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, to holy name, everything. Yes. Thank you.
Mataji, the original speaker of the root verses, if you are specific, is Garbhodakshaya Vishnu to Brahmaji.
Yes. Garbhodakshaya Vishnu
To Brahmaji.
to Brahmaji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Mataji, in the Purport, Srila Prabhupada says that any sincere student, if he hears from a bona fide speaker, then this great science of God could be understood. So, what does it mean to be a sincere student, and who is a bona fide speaker? Is it anyone
Yes.
coming in the parampara? Is a bona fide speaker, and how do we define
Yes.
it?
Two kinds of Bhagavatam are there. One is book Bhagavatam, Grantha Bhagavatam. Another is person Bhagavatam, Bhakta Bhagavatam. Bhagavat Parogiya Bhagavat Sthane, Vaishnavero Sthane, Mahaprabhu said. Who is a bona fide student? First question. Who has sincere eagerness, inquisitiveness, and also intense desire that I must make my life successful spiritually, because I have done everything in this material world and I experienced that there's no real happiness over here. We have to be convinced about it. Bona fide student is convinced, because we are pleasure-seeking living entities. There's no, for this, this is not the fault. This is actually the real swarup. We are always seeking pleasure, happiness, bliss. But we are trying to get it from the wrong source, material source. And believing in that, we have to stop it. And no, I'm seeing others also, they are trying so much, but they're not happy. So happiness is where Krishna, in the Krishna. Krishna is Satchid Ananda, we are part and parcel of Satchid Ananda Krishna. Having this conviction is the first sign of a bona fide student. And then second is, how can I dedicate my life unto the Supreme Lord through devotional service? Who can help me? Now, bona fide teacher, this is bona fide student. Bona fide teacher who follows, who leads the life on the basis of principle of Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. That person is bona fide teacher. And we all supposed to do this. We are all duty bound to become a Bhagavata, representative of Bhagavat. Means following the principles of Bhagavat in our lives. Live with the spiritual consciousness. And just in this world, take care of your things which is required only. In the sense of my duties, that's it. Heart is always with Krishna. Krishna consciousness. Means whole day remain absorbed in the thoughts of Krishna. How can I love Krishna? How can I serve Krishna? Bona fide student. Bona fide teacher is also like that. How can I help others? And they lead their lives according to the instructions of Bhagavad Gita and Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. That person is a bona fide speaker. All right?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki